Hello, my name is Ansu and today is day 14 of BOOKMAS. If you're new here, hello! If you didn't know, I've been posting for the past 14 days. And I do intend to post till the 25th, so definitely subscribe so you can see the craziness that is my life. Anyway, let's talk about today's topic, which is the Goodreads Choice Awards. I have some thoughts on this thing and I'm just really tired of seeing certain books win every single year, or like certain authors win every single year. It's just really frustrating right now. And anywho, let's just go into each and every section and then we'll talk about whether they were deserving. If I knew the book, I'll tell you whether it was deserving to win that award or not. Let's get into it. So the first category is Best Fiction, and I wanted to talk about some of the books that are on here. So the winner was actually Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I've actually never heard of the book, but I've heard of Sally Rooney as the author, and it does seem like a good book. I don't really know much about it, but it seems like there's a good amount of like friendship, romance, and all that kind of stuff, and it's supposed to be pretty interesting. And yeah, I don't really know. The one that I personally voted for was Dial A for Aunties, because that's the only one on this list I read. A, and B, I personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good book. I don't know if it was deserving of getting like the Best Fiction award, but it definitely was a really good, fun book. I really enjoyed it, so I definitely voted for that one. There was also Cloud Cuckoo Land on this by Anthony Doerr. I really want to get to that one because I've read one other book by Anthony Doerr and I really want to try to get to this one as well. I think it would be really fun. The rest of the books, like, I haven't heard of any of these. I've never really seen any of these, so I can't really speak on any of them. I just don't read like fiction in general like that. I tend to veer towards other genres. So let's go on to mystery and thriller. I've been recently getting into mystery and thriller, but I looked at this list and I have not read a single one of these. I do want to rectify that. There's one book by Paula Hawkins and that's the only author I know of. I haven't seen or heard of any of these other books, but yeah, I don't know if this is actually a good one or not, but this is definitely something that I do need to get to because I thought I would have read at least one of them, but I have not read anything. Honestly, I didn't think I read anything from historical fiction, which is the next genre, and the one that won was Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love this book. I thought it was such a brilliant book. It was really fun. Again, Taylor Jenkins Reid is a very popular author. The way that this book was written, I felt like it was a little deserving in my personal opinion. I don't know if it just won because it was a popular author. It could have happened, like, honestly, but I personally really enjoyed it. But if that was the case, like, Kristen Hanna was also like a really popular author and she could have also won, but I don't know, maybe this is not like super biased, but I know Taylor Jenkins Reid is super popular anyway. But Malibu Rising was actually a pretty good book. I want to read The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. I've read like another book by Kristen Hanna and I really enjoyed it. I think it was The Nightingale. It was so good. I love that book. So I definitely want to get to The Four Winds. The Lost Apothecary, I know Rachel from Let Me in the Library read it and gave it like 2 stars. So I highly doubt I'm gonna pick that one up just because I saw that review and like, okay. But I know people really enjoy that book. I don't know what happened with Rachel and why she didn't like it. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, like that was interesting. The rest of these books I don't think I've ever heard of or ever even seen. I don't think I'm going to be picking up a lot of historical fiction in general for myself. It's not my most favorite genre. The next one. This is where the controversy begins. I do not think the best fantasy should have gone to Sarah J. Maas for A Court of Silver Flames. I do not think she should have gotten that award. That was... it was not a good book. I have read the book. I know it's absolute trash, and the only reason that I read it was because of Cassian, the main character, and that's all. But it was just porn in a book. That was it. Like, I don't think it deserves it at all. And there were some amazing books on here. Books that I've heard wonderful things about. Some of these I haven't read. The only one I think I've read is Under the Whispering Door, which is a pretty decent book. It was not the best that TJ Klune wrote. Like, I've only read 2 books by TJ Klune, but this is not bad. It was a really good book. it was better than A Court of Silver Flames, that's for sure. So I was really disappointed that Under the Whispering Door at least didn't win. It doesn't matter, like, I don't think it was like the best book or it should have gotten the award anyway, but there were definitely different books that were more deserving. She Who Became the Sun, I've heard really good things about. I've read only, I think, 100 pages of it. I haven't finished the book, so I can't really completely stand by it, of course, but the premise is really interesting. I think there's a polyamorous relationship, or there's also like LGBT representation in it, right? All of those things are kind of in that book with a lot of representation. And A Court of Silver Flames has nothing really like intricate detailing or anything really. So I'm really disappointed by that. And of course, like the books down here, Inheritance of Oriqueda Divina, I've heard so many lovely things about it. Also, the cover is gorgeous, and I've heard wonderful things about that one. I have heard about The Shadow of the Gods, and I've heard good things about it, but it's like a high fantasy if I'm not wrong. So I don't know if I'll ever pick it up, but it sounds very intriguing. And this book by Hannah Witten, For the Wolf, I think it was called, I've heard wonderful things about that as well. So that's there. The Jasmine Throne, Tasha Suri. I've heard so many lovely things. Again, I haven't read any of these books. I have read Spindle Splintered. I don't think that would have deserved the fantasy award. I don't think it was that good of a book. Personally did not enjoy it at all. But yeah, these 4 books, one of them could have won and I would have been super happy about it. And here's my gripe with it. Sarah J Maas has won every single one of these fantasy awards anytime she writes a book. And that's really frustrating because she's super popular. And that's the only reason why it's winning. That is literally the only reason. And there's just a lot of Sarah J Maas stans out there. I don't hate the author or anything. I just don't think her work is that great for her to get like a Goodreads award. It really frustrates me. There's so many people of color who write such intricate books with so much detailing, with such a powerful world, and nothing. Like, they get nothing, no recognition, and it just bothers me so much. I don't like that. Moving on to romance. This is okay. I liked People We Meet on Vacation. I thought it was a really solid book, but I don't know if it deserved the award, if I can say so. I really liked Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I thought that was a really, really good book. I read a few in this genre. So The Love Hypothesis, I've heard really good things about. I don't really know. I haven't read it. One Last Stop was a really good book. It has like a lesbian bisexual type of romance. It's very cute. I think it was really nice. And oh, it's like a very close match between People We Meet on Vacation and The Love Hypothesis. The Love Hypothesis probably is good. I don't know. Haven't read it. I don't know this one, The Spanish Love Deception. I haven't heard of that, so I might have to check that out. Act Your Age, Eve Brown was really adorable. I loved the characters in it. I thought the romance was just very, very endearing. That is just like, I feel like that would have deserved the award a little bit more than the Emily Henry book. While it's not so bad, I feel like this one would have deserved a little better. The Ex-Hex. I have heard of it. I haven't read it, obviously. I have never heard about Neon Gods and 7 Days in June. I have never heard of. It Happened One Summer, I've heard of, but then some people were like, it's just not the greatest. I think it was Lisa from Remarkably Lisa who was just like, that's kind of trash. I didn't really like it. This Christina Lauren book was very unique, The Soulmate Equation. I think I would have for that. Yeah, I thought it was very unique. I really enjoyed reading that one. With this like app that checks people's DNA and puts them together with other people, like their soulmate. I think it's a really nice premise, beautiful romance, very cute. I would highly recommend you guys to pick it up for sure, but I feel like it deserved to get a little higher up there. But anyway, The Heart Principle I've heard wonderful things about. I didn't enjoy the first book, Kiss Quotient. I did not like it. The rest of the books I haven't read. Jasmine Guillory writes really good books. I haven't read While We Were Dating though, but I do like her writing style. I haven't gotten to that specific book. The rest of it I don't know of, I've never heard of. So moving on to science fiction. I don't think I've read anything in the science fiction genre over here. I don't really read science fiction all too much unless it's like very specific to like Neil Shusterman or a couple of Brandon Sanderson books. I rarely read science fiction, so I understand like I don't know any of these books. Possibly Andy Weir did deserve it, I don't know. Horror is a genre I never read. I don't like horror. I don't like being horrified of things. These are the books on the list. Like, I'm just gonna move on because like I don't read it. The same thing with humor. I don't think I really read it all too much. Yeah, I haven't never heard about any of these, so I'm just gonna move on. Ooh, best nonfiction, John Greengut. Oh, that's really cute. I don't know that book. I think it's actually about him. I haven't really read that book. I haven't read any of these. either. Again, not a huge nonfiction person, not a huge memoir person. I haven't heard of any of these. I don't think I have. I think I've heard this one by Priyanka Chopra, but that's it. Like, I don't really read it. History and biography, like, honestly, skip. Graphic novels and comics. Let's talk about that. Ooh. I just recently got into graphic novels, so this is very interesting. Ooh, this one. This looks very cute. I look at the covers for comics and stuff because, like, I don't really know much about the genre. I don't really read it as much, so I just look at the cover. There's a V.E. Schwab book in here. Oh, she didn't win. Okay, that's good. I'm proud of that. I haven't heard of any of the others. Oh, this one I've heard of. I don't think I've read it, but yeah. Poetry. Here are the books. I don't really read poetry all too much, so skip. Debut novel. Oh, the Spanish Love Deception. This is the romance one. Okay, yeah, that's good. I don't know the book. Lost Apothecary. I always laugh when I see this book, to be honest. The Firekeeper's Daughter, I've heard such wonderful things about, and I would love to get to this one day. Yeah, I've heard wonderful things about this. The Gilded Ones just looks so good. It looks very promising. Shiibuki Sun we already talked about. Ooh, I've heard about Detransition Baby. I don't know anything about it, so moving on. Yeah, I haven't heard of any of the other books. Young adult fiction. See, Firekeeper's Daughter, that actually got the award because a lot of people were saying it was really good. Ace of Spades is the one that I would have heard because that's the only one I read, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really such a great book. The Cousins I read, and it was a decent book, but I don't think it deserved an award or anything, so that's fine. Last Night at the Telegraph Club, I started reading. I think I kind of DNF'd it because I was really bored with it. I don't know, I just wanted to enjoy it, but I was not. So it was not made for me personally, so I didn't really like it. I've heard of Instructions for Dancing. I didn't read it. Box in the Woods. That was an interesting mystery thriller by Maureen Johnson. It was good. Again, not deserving of an award, I think, but like it was good. It was definitely good. Tokyo Ever After was just like kind of like Princess Diaries, but it was a fun book. A Fall Love Story I did not enjoy at all. I've heard good things about Yoke and Hannah and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating, I think it's called. I've heard pretty good things about it. Counting Down With You, I think it's like a very cute premise. I'd like to read it one day maybe. The Project by Courtney Summers, I didn't read it, but it sounds good. I don't know if I'm gonna read it though. Here's another thing, Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction. Leigh Bardugo. It's honestly the popularity, but I was looking at this whole list and Cassandra Clare is like the close second and she didn't win. So I was just like, what the heck? I was really shocked by it, to be honest. But then I realized Shadow and Bone has a whole ass series right now which people are really enjoying. So that's probably one of the reasons why I kind of won. But again, like there's better books. Iron Widow, I've heard such wonderful things about it. I'm pretty sure it has like LGBT representation, like good representation, and The Gilded Ones is also like supposed to be really good. Six Crimson Cranes and Chain of Iron, I think, were the only ones that I read in this list, and I voted for Six Crimson Cranes. It was not the best book, but it wasn't so bad. Like I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty decent read, so I voted for that. That's the only two books that I read though. And the rest I haven't really read or heard much of. It's a final category. But anyway, I've read Amari and the Knight Brothers. Did I not vote for that? Aw, I didn't think I read anything. That's probably why I didn't vote for it. I really enjoyed Amari and the Knight Brothers. I thought it was such a beautiful book. It's so deserving. Like, it definitely deserves so much more hype. I think it's very adorable. It has a very good premise. Arusha is supposed to be good too, right? Do you notice something? There's a lot of Rick Riordan presents. I think this is Rick Riordan presents. This one too. Three or four books in this list is all like Rick Riordan presents. That's interesting to me. Anyway, that was just me reacting to it. I do want to read a bunch of these books. Maybe next year, early next year, I'll read like from a specific category and like read all of those books and then see which one I like the most and then vote for it by myself. I don't know. I feel like it's a good thing to do. I don't know if this is going to be fun or not, but like, let me know. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!